Amy Duggar King announces bold debut memoir, Holy Disruptor. Amy Duggar King, known to many for her connection to the larger Duggar family and for her appearances on the TLC series 19 Kids and Counting, is now stepping into a new role as an author. The former reality star has officially announced the upcoming release of her debut memoir, titled Holy Disruptor. The book is already generating significant buzz, not just among fans of the Duggar family, but across wider media circles, as Amy promises a revealing and unfiltered account of her life, her convictions, and her bold steps toward truth. The title, Holy Disruptor, encapsulates the tone and content Amy intends to deliver: a combination of faith and resistance, courage and confrontation. This memoir is being positioned not just as a reflection on her personal journey, but also as a challenge to the structures and ideologies that shaped her upbringing and environment. With this book, Amy aims to reclaim her voice, define her identity outside of the Duggar name, and make a lasting impact through storytelling. Amy Duggar King has long been considered the rebel cousin of the Duggar family, known for living a lifestyle that diverges sharply from the strict religious and cultural standards of her more famous relatives. While the Duggar family promoted values of purity culture, rigid gender roles, and submission to patriarchal authority, Amy frequently appeared to march to the beat of her own drum. Whether it was her choice of clothing, her dating life, or her outspoken comments on social media, Amy was often perceived as standing apart from the rest of the family's image. Now, with Holy Disruptor, Amy is stepping forward with clarity and intention, offering the public an unvarnished account of the experiences that shaped her. The book promises to tackle not only her own personal story, but also her perspective on the Duggar family's controversial legacy. While Amy has expressed love and concern for many of her relatives, she has also been vocal about the dysfunction, secrecy, and trauma that she believes have been swept under the rug for far too long. In a recent announcement, Amy shared that the idea behind Holy Disruptor was born from her long-held desire to speak truth to power and give voice to those who have been silenced, especially women who grew up in restrictive, high-control environments. She says the memoir is for anyone who's ever felt like they had to conform to please others, who's been afraid to speak out, or who has been told that their worth is tied to obedience or silence. Throughout the book, Amy explores themes such as spiritual manipulation, toxic family dynamics, and emotional healing. These are themes she says she personally had to grapple with after years of witnessing and at times experiencing pressure to conform, remain quiet, or look the other way. Amy also touches on the broader impact of religious fundamentalism, raising questions about what happens when faith is used as a tool of control rather than liberation. While many know Amy Duggar King through her appearances on reality television or her outspoken posts on social media, Holy Disruptor promises a deeper look at the woman behind the headlines. Amy's memoir will reportedly dive into her childhood, her complicated relationship with fame, and the emotional journey that led her to where she is now. One area of particular interest for readers will likely be her reflections on how she navigated the media spotlight while maintaining a different set of values than the rest of the Duggar family. For years, Amy has walked a fine line between being connected to the family name and publicly distancing herself from its more controversial aspects. In the book, she will reportedly clarify where she stands and how she has sought to forge her own path while dealing with the complexities of family loyalty and personal conviction. In choosing to write Holy Disruptor, Amy Duggar King is not just telling her story, she's also sending a message that change is possible. According to early statements, a central theme of the memoir is transformation, how individuals can overcome the weight of tradition, expectation, and trauma to find healing, identity, and faith on their own terms. Amy has emphasized that the process of writing the book was therapeutic for her and allowed her to reflect on both the wounds and the triumphs of her past. She hopes that her honesty will encourage others to do the same. especially those who have struggled with similar issues in silence. The memoir is positioned as a beacon of hope and empowerment for anyone seeking to break free from toxic patterns and reclaim their narrative. The announcement of Holy Disruptor has been met with a mix of anticipation and curiosity. While Amy has never been a central figure in the Duggar media empire, her proximity to the family and her vocal opposition to certain beliefs have made her a compelling and often controversial figure. Many fans and critics alike are eager to see what revelations the book might contain. Amy's decision to publish the memoir comes at a time when public interest in the Duggar family remains high, especially in the wake of recent legal scandals, documentaries, and growing criticism of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, the organization associated with the family's beliefs. Given this backdrop, Holy Disruptor is likely to resonate with a broader audience than just Duggar fans. The book could very well join the growing list of memoirs that shine a light on the dark corners of religious fundamentalism and high-control environments. The choice of the title Holy Disruptor is particularly notable. It reflects Amy's intent to challenge harmful ideologies while remaining grounded in her own spiritual beliefs. She has expressed that her faith remains an important part of her life, but it is a faith redefined by personal understanding rather than institutional dogma. Amy's journey has involved a deep reevaluation of what she was taught about God, family, obedience, and purpose. In her words, she no longer sees herself as someone who simply goes along to get along. Instead, she views herself as someone called to disrupt patterns of harm and speak up where silence once prevailed. As Amy Duggar King prepares to release her memoir, she is clearly entering a new chapter of her life, one marked by courage, transparency, and advocacy. While she has always stood apart from the Duggar family's brand of conservatism, this book represents her most direct and intentional effort yet to step into her own light. She has described this moment as one of empowerment and responsibility. "I didn't write this book to tear anyone down," she has said. "I wrote it to build others up, to let them know that it's okay to think differently, to question, and to heal." The publication of Holy Disruptor will likely spark conversations, introspection, and, inevitably, controversy. But if Amy Duggar King has proven anything over the years, it's that she's not afraid to stand up for what she believes in, even if it means standing alone. As the release date approaches, all eyes will be on Amy, not just to see what secrets she might reveal, but to witness a woman reclaiming her narrative and using her voice to inspire others. Holy Disruptor is not just a memoir, it's a declaration of strength, change, and the power of telling your truth. Amy Duggar King's forthcoming memoir, Holy Disruptor, signals a bold new era for someone long seen as an outsider within one of reality TV's most conservative families. With a commitment to honesty, healing, and faith, Amy is stepping beyond the shadows of her famous last name to chart her own course. In doing so, she offers hope and validation to countless others who may still be struggling to find their way out of silence and into truth. This is more than a celebrity memoir, it's a testament to the disruptive power of speaking up. Amy Duggar All memoir is real, it's happening, and it's unfiltered. Amy Duggar, known to many as the outspoken cousin in the Duggar family, has never quite fit the mold her famous relatives were known for. While the mainstream Duggar family gained attention through their TLC reality shows like 19 Kids and Counting On, Amy remained somewhat on the periphery, always adjacent to the drama, but never fully in the spotlight. That is, until now. Amy Duggar has confirmed what many fans have long suspected. She is releasing a tell-all memoir. And not just any memoir, it's being described as real, unfiltered, and completely her own. In a world where image is everything, especially for public figures linked to conservative fame, Amy is choosing transparency, independence, and truth. Her decision to share her unvarnished story marks a powerful moment not only in her personal journey, but also in the broader narrative surrounding the Duggar family legacy. For years, Amy Duggar has hinted at deeper family issues, cryptically referencing past traumas, unhealthy dynamics, and the need to speak her truth. However, due to both personal and professional considerations, she remained largely silent, choosing not to disrupt the already controversial world her family operated within. That silence is officially coming to an end. Amy's upcoming memoir is being framed as a candid and heartfelt collection of memories, insights, and revelations. She has reportedly taken her time in developing the book, ensuring it was written on her terms. For fans and followers who've watched her journey unfold over the years, particularly her shift from rebel Duggar to independent wife and mother, this moment represents a full-circle evolution. From the beginning, Amy has been perceived as different. Unlike her cousins, who adhered to strict rules related to modesty, courtship, and religious devotion, Amy lived life on her own terms. She wore jeans, listened to secular music, dated freely, and even pursued a career in country music. While this might seem trivial outside the Duggar world, it was enough to spark ongoing speculation about how much Amy was really accepted by the family behind the scenes. With her memoir, Amy is reportedly prepared to break down the barriers between perception and reality. She will share what it felt like growing up in close proximity to such a public and tightly regulated family system, all while navigating her own identity. The book promises to give insight into her unique upbringing, the internal conflicts she faced, and the personal triumphs that allowed her to emerge with a clear sense of self. Though the full manuscript has not been released, Amy herself has confirmed that the memoir is in progress and that it will be unfiltered. According to her, this won't be a sanitized version of events curated for public approval. Instead, it will highlight both the pain and the growth, the joy and the heartache, and the moments of isolation as well as liberation. She has teased that the book will touch on many key chapters of her life, including her strained relationship with fame and the pressure that came from being a Duggar by association, personal accounts of emotional abuse and healing, the impact of the Duggar family's public scandals on her personal well-being, her journey toward spiritual independence, her experiences with motherhood, marriage, and what it means to raise a child outside of the rigid structure she once witnessed. The timing of Amy's memoir is significant. In recent years, the Duggar family has faced widespread controversy, particularly surrounding Josh Duggar's criminal convictions. As a result, the once pristine image of the Duggar family has been marred, prompting many to reassess how much of what was seen on television was real and how much was carefully controlled. Amy's voice is poised to add a new layer to that evolving narrative. While she has previously spoken out against certain family behaviors, this memoir offers a platform to do so in depth and with context. Her story is uniquely positioned. She was close enough to the heart of the family to see what was happening, but distant enough to maintain perspective. Since announcing her plans for a memoir, Amy has received an outpouring of support. Fans have long admired her boldness and resilience, praising her for standing up for herself and setting boundaries even when it meant going against the grain. Social media is flooded with messages of encouragement from those who see her story as empowering, especially for individuals who felt silenced by family, religion, or public scrutiny. Many readers have shared that they are looking forward to hearing from someone who didn't conform but still found a way to thrive. In a culture increasingly interested in deconstructing toxic systems, be they religious, familial, or otherwise, Amy's memoir appears to be arriving at just the right time. Amy has made it clear that this memoir isn't about revenge. Rather, it's about healing. Writing it, according to her, has been a cathartic process, a way to give meaning to pain, and to reframe her life through a lens of empowerment instead of victimhood. It also represents a step forward for her own identity. For much of her life, she was known as Cousin Amy, the outsider who didn't quite belong. But with this memoir, Amy is reclaiming her name and her story. She is moving beyond the shadow of a famous family and stepping into the spotlight on her own terms. While the exact release date has not been officially announced, several publishers have expressed interest in Amy's story. Insiders report that her unfiltered voice and loyal following could make the memoir a significant success, especially given the public appetite for behind-the-scenes insights into the Duggar world. There are also discussions of a potential media tour to accompany the book's release, which could include interviews, podcast appearances, and speaking engagements. Amy's message, one of truth-telling, resilience, and transformation, is likely to resonate beyond just fans of reality TV. Though her family name may draw initial attention, Amy's memoir is about far more than the Duggars. It's about a woman who chose to question the rules she was raised around, to confront difficult truths, and to create a life of her own. It's a universal story of courage, self-definition, and hope. In sharing her truth, Amy is opening the door for others to do the same. She's proving that you don't have to stay silent to keep the peace, and that sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is speak up. Amy Duggar's upcoming tell-all memoir marks a turning point not just in her personal journey, but in the broader narrative surrounding fame, family, and faith. It promises to be raw, real, and refreshingly unfiltered. In choosing to tell her story in her own words, Amy is not only reclaiming her voice, but also inviting others to reflect on their own. For those who have followed her from the sidelines, cheered for her resilience, or related to her struggle to find identity in the shadow of legacy, this memoir is more than just a book. It's a declaration. Amy Duggar's story matters, and she's finally ready to share it with the world. Amy Duggar's major career switch-up has counting on fans saying the same thing. Amy Duggar has never been one to follow the traditional path laid out by her famous family. While many members of the Duggar family became known for their roles on the TLC reality series 19 Kids and Counting, and its spin-off Counting On, Amy always stood out as the more independent-minded cousin. In a recent career move that has caught both her fans and critics by surprise, Amy has chosen a new professional path that's generating quite a bit of buzz, and it's leading many fans to say the same thing. Amy is finally doing what she was meant to do. Amy's life has taken numerous turns over the years, from aspiring musician to boutique owner and vocal advocate for women's empowerment. Her latest career transition continues that trend of self-discovery and reinvention, and perhaps most notably, it marks a clear break from the Duggar family's more conservative expectations. In many ways, Amy's new direction is more than a job change, it's a declaration of independence. Although Amy was labeled the rebel Duggar, she has repeatedly clarified that her choices stem not from rebellion, but from a desire to live authentically. Her followers have watched her grow from the family's outspoken relative into a businesswoman, mother, and public figure who isn't afraid to speak her mind. Over the years, Amy has become increasingly vocal about her beliefs, particularly in contrast to the stricter ideologies her relatives follow. This authenticity has helped her earn a dedicated fan base of her own. Now, Amy has launched a brand new professional endeavor, one that aligns closely with her personal values and public persona. Instead of returning to music or staying within the fashion industry, Amy has pivoted toward lifestyle coaching, motivational speaking, and personal development content. Her new career direction is centered around helping others heal from toxic environments, build confidence, and establish boundaries, topics she has explored openly on social media and in interviews. This shift might not come as a complete surprise to longtime fans who have watched Amy open up about her own experiences with control, trauma, and family dynamics. Over the past few years, she has regularly posted messages encouraging her followers to break free from fear-based belief systems and to advocate for themselves. Her transparency about personal struggles, including dealing with controlling influences and her evolving faith, have endeared her to fans seeking a voice of reason within the larger Duggar narrative. Amy's decision to use her platform for empowerment and education reflects her commitment to turning past hardships into a source of strength, not only for herself, but for others who might relate. This fresh professional focus allows her to embrace her strengths as a communicator and empathetic listener, while also tapping into the growing demand for mental health awareness and self-help resources. Fans have responded with overwhelming support. Across social media platforms, a recurring sentiment can be found: "This is what Amy was meant to do." Many applaud her courage to step away from the spotlight of reality television and choose a purpose-driven career that allows her to help others. Others comment on how fitting this new role seems for someone who has long been a voice of support and validation in an otherwise controlled environment. Interestingly, this career move also sets Amy apart even more distinctly from her cousins, who have remained more aligned with traditional roles. While some Duggar family members have become influencers, authors, or homemakers within faith-based spaces, Amy's work is intentionally broader and more inclusive. Her messaging isn't limited to one faith or lifestyle. Rather, it focuses on self-love, emotional boundaries, and personal growth topics that resonate with a wide and diverse audience. This contrast has led some fans to compare Amy's journey with those of her cousins, particularly those who remain tied to the restrictive ideologies that defined much of their upbringing. Many believe Amy's freedom to choose her own path, both personally and professionally, is a breath of fresh air. It reflects the desires of many who grew up in similarly strict environments but struggled to find a voice or support system. Moreover, Amy's ability to maintain a balance between honesty and grace has helped her reach audiences beyond Duggar fans. She has often emphasized that while she disagrees with certain aspects of her family's lifestyle, she is not out to attack anyone. Her goal, as she describes it, is to empower others by sharing her story, not to tear anyone down. The buzz surrounding Amy's career pivot also highlights a broader cultural shift. More and more, viewers of reality TV are drawn to authenticity over manufactured drama. Amy's transparency and personal evolution seem to represent the kind of growth people hope to see in those who rise to fame under complicated circumstances. In an era where social media personalities often face criticism for being inauthentic, Amy's commitment to keeping it real stands out. Her new business model reportedly includes online workshops, one-on-one coaching, motivational videos, and perhaps even a book in the near future. Amy has hinted at wanting to write about her journey, which could delve deeper into her departure from Duggar family expectations and her road toward healing and advocacy. Fans are already expressing interest, saying such a book would be a valuable resource for others navigating family conflict, religious trauma, or toxic relationships. In interviews and online posts, Amy has repeatedly emphasized the importance of mental health, setting boundaries, and protecting one's peace. Her openness about therapy, personal growth, and spiritual revaluation is particularly meaningful to many of her followers who come from similar backgrounds but may not have the support systems to make those changes themselves. Amy, in many ways, is modeling what it looks like to step out in faith in oneself and in the possibility of a healthier, freer life. What makes Amy's career switch so impactful is not just the nature of the work, but the message it sends. It's a message of transformation, autonomy, and purpose. For fans who have watched her journey over the years, this new chapter feels both natural and triumphant. While Amy has always been different from the rest of the Duggar clan, this career move seems to encapsulate everything she has been working toward. A life that's not just lived on her own terms, but one that helps others do the same. It's also worth noting that Amy's husband, Dilon King, has been vocally supportive of her shift in focus. Their partnership has played a key role in Amy's confidence and ability to pursue her calling. Together, they've cultivated an environment that fosters open communication and mutual respect, something Amy has said she lacked in her earlier years. This supportive dynamic has undoubtedly contributed to her ability to thrive in a new and empowering career. Amy's evolution stands as a powerful reminder that people are not defined by their past, nor are they bound by the labels assigned to them. Her story is one of resilience and courage, of stepping into the unknown in order to create a life of meaning and impact. As more fans express their admiration for her journey, one thing becomes clear: Amy Duggar's new career isn't just a change in direction, it's a reflection of who she truly is. In the end, Amy Duggar's major career switch is more than a headline, it's a statement of purpose. And for those watching from the sidelines, it's a compelling testament to the power of growth, authenticity, and unapologetic self-discovery. Whether you've followed her since her early reality TV appearances or are just discovering her now, Amy's journey offers inspiration for anyone seeking to break free from expectations and forge a path all their own.